And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. And how do you like the new lights?
I like it. It's it'll blind you. It's
Well, you
bright. Woo.
actually see in here for the first time. Made the move to buy more lighting and stuff like that, so it'll help in the long run.
Yeah.
It looks like my cowboy hat is under EMEPA at the moment.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. I can duck if I have to.
Of all morning, I look like I just woke up.
I wasn't gonna say that.
I look puffy-eyed. Well, I mean, I was running this morning. I hit the floor running this morning.
I can't
That's why my hair is in a ponytail, because I didn't have time to fix it.
Well, when I done the weather at 6:30 this morning, I think I touched every wrong button. I bumbled. I couldn't get words out. It was a slur, and I did that because I didn't have 2 cups of coffee.
Oh, really?
I should never address anybody before having 2 cups. I'm just not myself.
Well, you definitely don't want me talking to you until I've had at least 1 cup, because I am not in a good mood when I first get up in the morning. Because I don't want to get up. I could sleep till like at least 8 or 9 o'clock, and that's late for me, because this weekend I actually did, and that is just late. I don't ever sleep that late.
Don't make your back hurt.
Yeah,
all day.
I wake up and I feel like my neck's stiff or my back's stiff. I don't know. I don't ever sleep that late, and I guess I needed it though.
You must have. Okay, who has went and bought a washer and dryer lately?
Not lately, and I hope I don't have to. But I know they're expensive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
I had no idea. I said it was $1,900 for washer and dryer.
I know, and used to you could get a set for about $600, right? $300 a piece or something like that. I mean, used to, but now they're so fancy.
It's just buttons for everything, to where used to you threw it in and hit the button, that was it.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of it's digital and
it
all
is
that
digital
stuff now, which from what I understand, you don't want that to tear up, because that's a pain to try to get fixed. But anyway, yeah, we're fixing to have to buy a new stove, I think, and a dishwasher, so I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, I just got a text. I just posted about Shad White, he's taking down the Mississippi corruption. He arrests somebody all the time.
Yeah,
but apparently there's he's got stuff that you can buy now, coffee mugs and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it say?
Let's see here if I can zoom here. Making corrupt politics feel the heat. I don't know if everybody can see that or not.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute. And what we're talking about is Shad White. Let me pull this up. Let's pull this up where you can see what we're talking about here. This is, if you steal from Mississippians, the state auditor, this guy, I have never seen anybody in this office before do so much.
Right.
But another one going down in Chickasaw County for taking $131,697. It's a lady by the name of Smith, embezzled, and that's her mugshot.
How in the world? Like, I just don't understand how these people get by with this stuff for as long as they get by with it. To get to the point to where you've stolen $100 and something thousand, like, because some of them will do it like $1,000 at a time,
All right, she's accused of embezzling cash and money orders meant to pay fines levied. So, like, if you got a speeding ticket, she would somehow or another take that. You're right though, but I don't see how you think you can get away with it, because eventually you may outsmart somebody you work with, but Shad White is not the guy to try to fake there.
Don't mess with him.
Ooh, maybe she needed to buy a new washer and dryer. I don't know. Maybe so.
That
was pretty rough there.
Or buy a house. Who knows? I don't know.
Boy. Today, expect rain. That's what we got in the forecast. It's a lot of rain through about 10 with sprinkles, and then we got rain coming in tonight. As we look at the forecast, what it's calling for, 80% chance of rain tonight, what's going to happen. Likely between midnight and 3 a.m. So after you go to bed, you're going to hear it hit the old tin roof there. 44 for our low, and still gusty even tonight. Well, we had it this weekend, didn't we?
I know. We did. That wind yesterday was horrible.
It was.
I mean, it was really, really
tight
bad.
weather, but not good for burning or anything else.
No. Mm-mm.
Now, we get rain again tomorrow, 100% chance, so it's not over. And by Wednesday, things change. We'll get it Tuesday night also. Wednesday through Friday, we've got nothing but sunshine. So after we get through tomorrow night, game changer for everybody. So that's good news.
So it's going to start cooling off again?
We're going to hit 50 tomorrow.
Okay.
And then it'll start climbing back. I kept hearing stuff of it's going to be 39, 40, and I never saw that. What we're looking at, 49, 50 is going to be the low.
Okay.
Now, this afternoon, by 5 o'clock, it will drop to 57.
Okay.
We started out this morning at 69, and it's kind of been steadily dropping there.
It was warm this weekend, though. I mean, it was nice, though.
Well, Meridian tied a record of 82 on Saturday.
Yeah, we some of our friends went camping, and they went down to the Pelahatchie little Yogi Bear place down there.
Yeah.
And they said it was really, really nice. And they had a little splash pad and a pool, and they were able to get in the pool. It was a heated pool, but But yeah, it's like summertime almost, at least like spring,
We are, and then by the time we get into mid-month, we're going to have some 60-degree weather over the next week or so, and then by mid-month of March, we'll be hitting back into the upper 70s. March the 1st.
I know. I
Can you believe
it? I can't believe it. February just kind of, it was just like the wind blew and it was gone.
And is this the continuation of the leopard look you had going on Friday?
I guess. I don't know.
Or is that tiger or is that leopard?
I don't know. I kind of look like I got in a mud fight, I think.
Oh, hush that. Let's say good morning to Linda Jane Lunsford, who is watching this morning. Hope you're doing well today.
Yes.
Elmer Talbert, also watching. Hilton and Denise Davis, good morning to y'all also. Uh-oh. Let's see, Milton Svell, Philadelphia Courthouse knows about, they do know about those. Shad has been to visit them once or twice there.
Yeah.
Very serious up there. Let's see here. Good morning also to Kathy Bryce, watching from Tylertown, Mississippi.
Yes.
Salute.
I know. Tylertown's another place where I think they've got a neat camping area.
I've never been there.
I think I mentioned it the other day, but we were talking about it yesterday. I'm just ready to get,
active?
I am. I'm ready to go camping and just relax. I don't know.
As I was unbolting all that stuff on the back of that washer yesterday afternoon, in the distance, I couldn't help but notice the sound of weed eaters. Oh my gosh, that season is here. You ready?
I know the grass has already started growing in some areas, and like you saw people, if you were riding around at all this weekend, you could see people out in their yard planting flowers and stuff like that. I hope we don't get any more really, really cold stuff.
Because we'll get another snap. We always do between 9 and April. Something always happens, and all the pretty flowers that are budding.
I know. My son this morning, we have a Bradford pear, I think it is. It's got white blooms all over it this morning. He said, "Mama, what is that white stuff on the tree?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I didn't even realize, but it had bloomed out, So,
I was just glancing around this morning, and you really, and I pull this up not to do an individual story, but just to show you the headlines in the state of Mississippi of what goes on. And, we don't think of Mississippi as being like what's the word I'm looking for? A gangster type state.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the headlines all at one time and you were looking from the outside from another state, you might go, wait a minute, I don't know if I want to live there. Yeah. Look at this. As we go over to look at JTV, a local pastor's home is hit by a drive-by shooting in Jackson. Okay, let's scroll down here. We get here. Man shot and killed inside vehicle in Jackson. 2 dead, severely injured in shooting at Claiborne County. Teen shot multiple times in Vicksburg. 16-year-old shot multiple times. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is Mississippi.
And this could go on in other states. We don't really know what goes on within
right, I'm sure it does.
The boundaries of other states. But it is. But this, to me, it all goes back to no consequences for people's actions. People have gotten away with stuff, and they get a little slap on the hand, and what is that going to do to somebody? Nothing.
Now, I don't know if you've seen this, and there's a lot of people, because the last time I looked at the video, and I'm not going to play it, I'd have to really think hard about this. But what do they call Bonita Lakes Mall now?
Uptown, I think.
Okay, have you seen the video from there this weekend of the fight?
No, I didn't realize there was a fight.
Oh, yeah. About 36,000 people had watched the video the last time I looked at it. And what's that place in there where that play?
Oh, yeah, there's a play. It's a new entertainment area in there that used to be the Sears, I think is what it was.
Well, a fight broke out in there, and it was like nothing you have ever seen.
Like a brawl.
Yeah, it was a huge. It was like a scene from a cowboy movie, to where
like
one
Roadhouse.
Yeah, and everybody's in it.
Gosh. Oh my goodness.
And again, Meridian, Mississippi. If you have not seen the video of that, it's out there. You can see it. You just go to Facebook, and I think you could Google "Fight Meridian, Mississippi." But it definitely makes you go, yeah, I don't think I'm going up there now.
Right.
That's what because we've had a shooting up there, and now this.
Well, they need to really crack down on all this stuff, not letting people get away with. I don't even know what the answer is, though. I
don't.
I had a feeling that when that place went in down there, that there was going to be some kind of something go on at some point.
Most states, kind of like down at the bottom of the hill, crossroads. Most states now have kind of switched to having not inside but separated now, of being the new thing to where I don't want to say gangs, but crowds of people gather and issues can happen.
Yeah.
I think that's the consensus nationwide now to do it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% right on all this. I just sit back and, like you, see what happens around us and just thought I'd talk about that.
Well, it's gotten to where, and I hate to say it because I'm not trying to put down our town. I'm not.
No, neither one of us are.
I think that there needs to be a lot of changes, though. I think there needs to be a lot of cracking down on crime. I don't know what the answer is, but, you go in the mall at any time, and it just is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
As far as the crowds, as far as, like, people shopping and stuff.
Right.
And you wonder why. Is it the pandemic? Is it, is it crime-related? Maybe people are kind of, concerned about getting out and going in by themselves or whatever. I know that's a concern for me, taking my 6-year-old by myself, but I don't see enough security, I think that would be.
Well, yeah, you got to crack down on things, you've got to have more security there, and that would fall back on them to increase it.
Right. You can't have like a security guard going around the parking lot in some areas. I'm not talking about just a mall or anywhere. I'm talking about anywhere. When you don't see the presence of a whole lot of security within a business, like as large as a mall or something like that, you don't tend to feel as secure. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
I just feel like maybe if we had a little more police presence.
Security?
What
was that video? What the girl was, when she was doing the hamburger thing?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, my girls used to do that.
That was funny.
I cannot remember her name. If Madison's watching, I don't know if she is or not, but she'd probably pop it up on there. But,
for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it was I don't know, was it real or was it a made-up thing?
It was a made-up thing, but she says, I think instead of calling it Burger King, she goes, "Welcome to King Burger."
Yeah.
And then the guy is like telling her what he wants, but he doesn't want this on it, and he wants that, and she goes, complicated order.
Yeah. Then she starts yelling, security.
She says security. But anyway, it's really funny if you hadn't watched that. You don't know what we're talking about, but it's a little skit that this girl does, and she does one about a nail shop.
Right.
And she does,
But by far,
hilarious.
The funniest thing I've ever watched is the substitute teacher thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A.A. Ron, if the guy's name is Aaron, and he calls him A.A. Ron.
And there's a girl named Denise, and he's calling out the role, and he goes, "Denise, where's Denise?" So she goes, "It's Denise." He goes, "Quit trying to correct me."
Is that the one where he breaks the...
Yeah.
Sends her to the office.
It's just so funny. Y'all probably think we are crazy if you don't know what we're talking about.
But it is hilarious.
We need to find the clip.
Yeah.
And show it one day because y'all will be rolling on the other end of this. I mean, you will.
It's good stuff. Good morning. Let's see. Kenny Talbert's watching this morning. Hope you're doing good. Linda Jane, happy birthday to everyone who has a birthday this month.
Yes.
Who's having a birthday, Linda Jane? Somebody's having a birthday. She's up to something here. I think so. Also, good morning to Dwayne Phelps. Good morning to you. Cindy Brewer is watching. Oh, Bentonville, Mississippi's on the map now.
All right.
Go ahead, out in Miss Nell Austin. I hadn't been to Bentonville, I bet, in 8-9 years. I ought to be ashamed. I just ought to. Good morning to, let's see, I was from Kemper County, Kathy Bracey. And I was from deep in there myself there. Also, let's see here. Patricia Boswell is watching. Let's see here. LaWanda Grantham says she saw the video that I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And also Donna Peoples watching on this rainy day. And it is a rainy day. We hope it ends soon. They've done this for the first time in Clark County, Mississippi. As we go over to Clark County Hot Topics, if you haven't visited there, check them out. They always have a lot of things going on. But Quitman had a parade this weekend. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
The very first Mardi Gras parade. And as you watch this go by there, they're hanging out the trucks and throwing out stuff. They got a bunch of girls in cars, if you'll go through this. So it was a big parade there.
That's good. I mean, to me, that gets things into a more normal perspective, like we used
Right.
to have. I mean,
Had I
everybody's looking for normal right now.
If I'd known there was chunking candy, I'd have been down there. As a kid, I remember that so much. And those of you, each small town used to have the Christmas parades. And they're starting to, and of course last year was just, as you mentioned, everything went away. But that was something big as a kid to get to go and to catch that candy, that they'd throw out.
I used to love going to the parades, and of course, being in the parades as a cheerleader. All the schools used to have their cheerleaders walking in the parades behind the band, usually.
Right.
And that was just fun.
Think you could walk that 5 miles now if you had to?
I could walk it. Don't ask me to run it.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, I could walk, but I don't know about the running thing. Unless something gets after me, I might can run.
Another issue that happened this morning was a lot of people woke up without power. If you were on Mississippi Power, it was right at 500. I think 495 or so people were without power earlier this morning. That is getting worked on as we go to Lauderdale County and look at this now. Down to 156 people, so a lot has been taken care of. And we go back over to Mississippi Power, and it's this little area right here that they're working on here on Highway 45 that still needs a little power there. They're working on that, but not cool to not have power on a Monday with rain. Just do you in.
At least it's not a burning up hot day, though.
No.
You'd need your air conditioner.
I saw somebody, who was it, posted earlier this morning that the power was out and then their shower broke. Ow! Over at Owl's. His broke down. So, hey, we want to say some thank yous to some folks coming on with us this month. Chet's Paint and Body over in Center Hill joined us. Yes. Also, Talbert Enterprises, where we ain't no junkyard.
That's right.
Yeah, if you need a part, go by and see them. Of course, it is so much cheaper if you need something that's already out there. Go get it. They'll get it for you and bring it to you and put it on your car, save money.
My daddy used to be a body man outside of when he used to work for the railroad, but then he was a body man, so I went with my dad up there.
Hung out?
Yeah, I went one time, I know, and went looking for some things that he needed. But super nice people, really nice. My daddy thought a lot of them.
Yeah, good folks. Of course, Freeman Tractor's back on with us as we get ready for grass season. Woohoo! Also, Why Not Motorsports Park, who's going to have the first race coming up this weekend, practice run Friday night, and then the race Saturday night. And then next weekend, monster trucks come back to Meridian.
All right. Well, I need to take my son to see that.
Monster trucks are always just fun.
We missed it this last time they came. It was, I think, out at the Ag Center.
Right.
I guess I had just forgotten about it, and
well, it's here this weekend.
So maybe we can go see it.
Why Not is a place to be. That's going to be next weekend is when that will happen. We'll give you more about it, and we'll show you a couple commercials as that begins. Let's see here what else is happening today. The state of Mississippi is pretty calm this morning. Nothing bad going on. Let's see here. Let's start out with a few things that went on today. I brought this up, what was it, a week or so ago about this, and I couldn't pronounce the name, and I still can't say it.
Lindbergh?
Yeah. The baby was kidnapped on this day.
Okay.
1932, and it was one of the biggest. The guy used a ladder to climb in the room and take the kid that was 2 months old, and then it ended up they found the child dead, and they ended up giving away their home. They just moved. They gave the house to charity. It broke their hearts. It was a rough time.
So I guess I'm not super familiar or anything with the story, but what was the motive behind? Was it just like money?
$50,000 is what he demanded.
Okay.
And then what caught him in the end was he used one of the bills a year or 2, 3 years later, and it was marked, and somebody wrote down the license plate on the car as he drove off, and they tracked it back to who, and he ended up getting the electric chair over it. So they did get it, but the child didn't make it.
That's awful.
It is. And as you look at things that happened, it was 1949 that Hank went into the studio on this date and recorded Honky Tonk Blues, You're Gonna Change or I'm Gonna Leave, and The Lost Highway, which was a huge hit. And ironically about all of this was, and I read this early this morning, yesterday was Audrey's birthday. And, she's not in the Country Music Hall of Fame or anything like that. But if it weren't for Audrey, we wouldn't have Hank, and we definitely wouldn't have Hank Jr. because she pushed him so hard. And I read an article of a guy that went by to see Audrey. He was a big Hank fan, and he wrote, you remember George Jones' The Corvette song, the one I loved back then? He wrote that, and before he got started, he went to Nashville, and he looked up to Hank. So he wanted to go see the house, and he finally got the nerve up, and he goes and knocks on the door, and Audrey comes to it. She shows him around, And as he gets ready to leave, he goes, well, one day I'm going to write a song about Mr. Williams. And she goes, don't call him Mr. Williams. The whole world calls him Hank. Okay, does that ring a bell to you, what I just said?
Don't call him Mr. Williams. The whole world calls him Hank.
Yeah, does that line mean anything to you?
It's in a song, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
David Allan Coe's song, The Ride. And, of course, that guy that knocked on the door would write the song The Ride years later. Okay. And that's where that line come from. As he was leaving, Audrey said that, and it ended up being, and I thought that was just cool.
That is cool.
So Audrey lived on after that. So interesting stuff. And boy, did our world change in 1979. I'm telling you, it was over for me. Catherine Bach having a birthday today.
Yes. She was always a pretty lady.
She is. She was. And couldn't help but watch her on 5 million copies of those cutoffs. They didn't sell as much as Farrah Fawcett poster did, but it did sell well with those cutoffs.
Yeah. My grandmother had a few words to say every time.
I thought you was going to say your granddaddy had it and your grandma had some words to say about the poster.
No, my grandmother, every time, because we watched the Dukes of Hazzard every day. And every time she'd walk across the road, you know, my grandmother would have something to say about that. She'd like,
shorts.
Look at them shorts.
You may not remember this guy. I call him a one-hit wonder. He made his splash in country music. His biggest one was, if it weren't for country music, I'd go crazy. Clinton Gregory. He had Play Ruby Play, but really the song that people remembered him by was If It Weren't for Country Music. Of course, it's his birthday also. Let's see. Johnny. This was big. 1968. Where were you? You weren't here, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Neither was I.
But I was maybe a thought. I don't know.
She didn't weigh enough so he could, she was real skinny, so he could handle toting her across the threshold. Did Kurt carry you across the threshold? I'm just curious.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He might have gave me a nudge across it.
It was 1980. Waylon was #1 on this date with Ain't Living Long Like This, Am I Baby? Rodney Crowell wrote that. That's been a while. 80 doesn't really seem, in your mind, doesn't seem that long ago.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it really doesn't. And it just amazes me how time has flown by. And I say this all the time, but it is so true. I mean, it just seems like yesterday that I was a teenager, You
ain't no more, are you?
I know, I'm not
at all. And all I can do, every time I think of 1980, I think of Urban Cowboy. Because that was just so big back then. That was when we all got first introduced to the mechanical bull. Did you ever ride one?
I did. When they had our fair every year, they always had one of those.
Yeah.
They had a little one for the kids and a bigger one for the adults, But yeah, that's a hard thing to do. I can't imagine. I can't imagine trying to ride a real bull.
No, that's
these
not
people
the
that ride bulls and stuff. Ugh, I don't see how they do it.
Got something broken.
I know.
Yeah, that collarbones. That's like a major one there for you if you do that.
But they always had them at the fair,
I didn't realize this, but it was 2011 that Reba got word that she was being inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame. Pretty big deal.
Yeah.
What an honor. It was 2016 that Don Williams told us that he would retire, and then, he's since then passed away. The Gentle Giant, as they called him in country music. And I thought I'd throw this up just because as a kid you heard about it all the time. Can you imagine living back in 1692 and your neighbor accuses you of being a witch and there's not really much you can do about it because it became, as Trump called them, witch hunts. And they begin.
And so they hunt, they hunt you, just come after you then?
They'd hang you. They'd have a little quick trial, and if they deemed you a witch, you were hung. Of course, we all know.
Because I might be a witch now. They might think I'm a witch in another sense.
1975, the Eagles were #1 with Best of My Love. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do. I like that song.
So that happened way back when. So that's a brief look at what happened on this date as you begin it. I like to kind of know what was what and when was who and all that kind of good stuff.
Interesting thing.
Well, as you get ready for groceries this week, do not forget Joe is prepared for you. He's got everything stocked back up, and yes, there's bread and milk all over the store today.
That's good.
In case you see the rain and think I better run go get some, he's got it. Strawberries, of course, $2.99, along with the fresh tomatoes, $1.59 a pound. You can take advantage of the navel oranges. Those are good just any time in the middle of the night.
They are, yeah.
If you have somebody to peel them for you.
Yeah. You don't like peeling them.
I am not a peeler.
The easiest thing is to take a knife and go around them in different directions, and then you just peel it right off. That's the easier. white to me.
which is the one that you
like
can take with your thumb and it comes all the way off real easy? Which orange? Is that like the
little bitty?
Yeah, what do you
like
call those?
Cuties or whatever they call them. Little like
little orange.
Satsumers or whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can also get celery for $1.99 along with the white, yellow, or sweet onions. That's a few things there. Chicken noodle, cream of mushroom, all that stuff, 2 for $3. You can get the saltine crackers for $1. Bargain on that.
That is a bargain.
Dixie Crystals, the granulated. I didn't say that right, did I?
Granulated.
$2.29.
I know what you mean, Scotty.
I hope so, because I'm going to slur a few words this morning. Also, the Kraft macaroni and cheese, you can get that 2 for $3. That 7-ounce box there, along with the Chips Ahoy for your sweet tooth. And the T-bone steaks, $5.99 a pound. You can get the baby back ribs, $3.99 a pound if you're going to be doing some cooking. Whole fryers, 69 cents a pound. And still wieners, $1.79 there. The Brian Juicy Jumbos. And Coca-Cola products along with drinking water, whatever you need. It's at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Take that short drive, see Joe and his friendly staff, and they will definitely save you some money.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Okay, Candace has breaking news.
The little thing we were talking about, the skit earlier, somebody come on here. Alicia Frazier says it's Vine Quee is the girl's, that's her character that she does. So look that up because it is the funniest
It is.
thing. And the nail lady is a funny thing too.
Okay,
Skit that she does.
Tony says big parading equipment with the celebrity Grand Marshal. Who was the Grand Marshal? I don't know. I'm left out. Okay.
Okay, but let's see. Brian and Mandy Guest says good morning.
Morning, y'all. Let's
Tony
see.
Thatcher, Mike Evans.
He's telling Mike to watch there.
Oh, okay.
And let's see here. Let's see. Also, a good morning to Joyce Godwin. And let's see here. Good news. 3-day dance competition at the Temple this weekend. Competitors from Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi. The event coordinator from New Jersey with a crew from all over the U.S. So that's good.
All right.
At the Temple Theater. So that's good news there. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, that is good.
Mm-hmm. So always let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods, so we can get that on. Spring, and I hope we'll start getting back to where we're actually doing things as a community. What is it? Isn't it in the spring the 3-Foot Festival comes about? To where
they
have
usually
all
have that, and don't they have like artwork and all that stuff down there?
Because it used to be arts in the park, and it got moved.
And I used to love going to that, art in the park. I mean, I'd always come home with 2 or 3 different things I'd bought, and just, they have a lot of stuff for kids, and I just hope we can bring stuff like that, back this year.
Yeah.
I hope it's a different year. I hope we have a lot of, a lot of stuff for the community to get involved, and I don't know. Maybe it will.
Weather-wise, and I keep seeing this everywhere. We'll get into some of the names here in just a little bit, but they keep pushing already. Hurricane season's coming. Like this is going to be a worst season. And also with that, we got tornado season coming up, and it's kicking off March. April is always a huge month for us here, May and June.
I am not looking forward to it because if anybody that knows me knows I am terrified of bad weather. I can't stand it. I mean, I can't even sleep at night. I'm up all night looking at the TV or watching Scotty Ray or something.
So
trying to get anything,
So what do you do if you're out in your car? Do you pull over under a bridge? Do you run to the ditch?
If it's
and
bad,
lay down?
I will. I'll get under. Like if it's bad and I'm on the highway, I try not to be on the highway. But yeah, I'll get under there. But look, I think it was last year when it was real bad. I usually will comment if you're on there commenting about if it's tornado weather. But I'm calling all my friends, turn on Scotty Ray. Turn on Scotty Ray. You know you can get Scotty Ray. So, and that was even before I was doing all this. But, yeah, I am usually at my mama's because she has a storm shelter, even though I'm dreading having to get down in there.
Got to do what you got to do.
But, yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Did you watch it yesterday, the president?
Yes, I did.
And when I say president, I mean Donald J. Former President Donald gave his first speech since leaving office.
I did. I watched it, and, I noticed that he, right out of the gate, said he wasn't going to make a third party.
Which is smart.
Right. Yeah, and I was kind of wondering about that because I know he did at one time say maybe we need a third party.
He hinted.
You know, he did. And I know there was a lot of talk about it, but, you know, I was wondering too a while back, was that going to mess things up? And like he said, it would divide people too much. And the Republican Party needs to stand together and become, you know, they need to unite and really get strong, you know.
Because if there's anything you say about the Democrats, they stick together through thick and thin. They rally to one another. And the Republicans have never caught on that they need to do things like that, ever.
Well, it's like a lot of people have said, you know, Republicans tend to kind of lay low and they kind of, you know, are a little calmer about things, and they don't really make a whole lot of ruckus or anything. And I'm not saying get violent and make ruckus, but
they get kicked a lot, and they just go, okay, they turn the other cheek.
Right,
think maybe,
but you know, those days need to be over.
Yeah, you need to speak up.
People need to rise up and unite and come together and make the Republican Party stronger than it's ever been. Because in the next 2 years, you know, I mean, in 4 years, we need to really prepare for what's coming, you know, and try to be united. And because, I mean, the voting thing, that's going to be a big issue, I think. The way that the votes, you know, are cast, and is it going to be mail-in ballots? I hope to goodness it's not.
I do too.
Unless it's, you know, strictly for people who are unable to go, you know, like overseas, military, or people who are handicapped or sick, can't get out and do. But, I mean, that's to me what it should be for. It shouldn't be for just sending out thousands and thousands of mail-in ballots.
A good person to follow is Senator Chris McDaniel. If you don't follow his page, he's always got something good. And I figure eventually he'll probably run for governor. That has never been said. There's nothing in writing, but I wish him luck if he were to do that. I think he'd make a great governor of the state of Mississippi. Real honest fellow who tells it the way it is.
Yeah. And we need that.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know if anybody has ever watched, is it Ron DeSantis?
Yeah.
The governor of Florida. I mean, that man makes all kind of sense.
He does.
And he really, the way that he's done things with COVID and just anything, like opening their state back up. And, the vaccine, you know, the way that they were told to give it one way, and he said, no, the elderly are coming first, you know, and put them first. And then the CDC, I think, changed something and said, yeah, you know, that is right. The elderly does need to come first. But
and they did.
It's just, it makes a whole lot of sense the way they're doing things down there, and it's really working good for them. So
here's headlines, and they hadn't turned on him yet. We'll see if it happens or not. But Cuomo has been branded a monster. A second lady has come out and said, he made me feel uncomfortable. None of the ladies, I don't think, have ever said he actually did it.
Yeah.
But he made innuendos. Is that how you said it word?
Innuendos.
Yeah. And advances in that way of opening up the door for them to play along. I don't think he actually attacked.
But, you know, if it would have been anybody else, you can be because I know that he made the comment that he was just joking a lot of times when he would say things. Well, you know what? I mean, a lot of people were probably just joking.
Yeah, that's called,
when they said things.
What is it, fishing? See if you can hook something, bring them back in.
Yeah, but I mean, even people with the most, the best intentions that were actually joking about something and did not mean any harm have gone down for it.
Well, Martha Stewart made that comment this past week where she felt that a lot of people went down that really didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
But Cuomo, on the other hand,
I really can't believe it's taken.
Isn't it?
Cuomo, yeah. I can't believe it's taken this long for him to really start saying something to him, because I have not been able to stomach listening to him.
Because, you know, back when all that started, he was giving those briefings daily. They had him running for president. Y'all remember that?
Oh, I mean,
his tireless leadership and how great he was.
He's so arrogant and so, like, he just is so dismissive to anybody trying to say anything, ask questions or anything. It's just kind of like he just, I just can't stand.
I hadn't watched it yet, but I hear that Saturday Night Live finally stepped up to the plate, done a skit about it, and they said it was funny. Yeah. Hadn't watched it yet. We all have puppy dogs, or most of us do. And they've done a survey. They say a dog knows, well, when you lie to them. And I went back, and I grabbed this picture of my old dog, Sophie, there. If that didn't tell you that face right there, if I would have told her I didn't have nothing to eat, you think she'd believe me? And what they say is a dog in this study, what they've done was you tell a dog to do something the first time, they go do it. And if it's not like the treat thing, if they go and sniff something out and there's nothing there, they don't trust you the next time.
Oh, really?
And their trust is always so hard to ever get back. They're skittish of you after that.
Let me tell you yesterday what happened with our dogs. our labs love the pond. Okay.
Oh, I bet.
They get in the pond when we're like, we'll let them out and just let them run around while we're in the house, now, because they usually stay right at the house. Well, yesterday, Kurt walked outside. He said, oh, my gosh, they were solid brown from being in the pond. They're white labs, but they were solid brown. So he calls our male dog over there, and he comes right over there because he's just a sweet little, he minds and everything. If you tell him to do something, he sprayed him off with a water hose. And our female, Ruby, he looks over at her. He goes, Ruby, and she looks at him like,
I ain't coming.
And she's gone. She knew what he was fixing to do.
You can't blame no girl.
You ain't calling me over there like I ain't trusting you.
Dogs are extremely smart. They figure that out.
But that was the funniest thing, though, because she wasn't having it. She was not going to be sprayed with a water hose. But.
Those baths are never fun either.
No.
Especially after you get that water on them and they do that shake.
Yeah.
You got it all over you.
Yeah.
Well, in Portland, it's heating back up, it looks as though. Antifa is running amok in Portland. They attacked the Starbucks store once again. I don't know what it is that they've got about these Starbucks, but they seem to tear those up a lot.
In Portland. I mean, I can't see where Portland would even have anything left.
It can't be much.
But I wonder what they're going to do to them now.
Probably nothing. I think I read where 2 were arrested. But, everybody that they've arrested, they've come back months later after it kind of dies down and either drop charges or minimal fines. And they didn't pay the piper, so to speak.
Yeah.
You take those 2 attorneys that were throwing the Molotov cocktails.
Yeah.
Nothing. Got off with a $500 fine or something like that. As we said, hurricane season right around the corner. This year, they're going back and grabbing some of those Disney names from the movie Frozen. So the kids will recognize some of these this year. Do you pronounce that Olaf? O-L-A-F? How do you say that?
I think it's Olaf.
Okay.
Olaf.
Yeah. Elsa?
That was the snowman.
Oh, was it? See, I've never watched it. So, but that is coming. There's 3 of them that's got it on there. And they retire a name after it's been destructive, I understand. But they keep repeating the names until it does something nasty.
Well, let's pray that we don't have any kind of major damage and stuff like that. I hope not either. We've had enough.
I'm not sure where this is going. We hope he recovers, but the prince is spending his 14th day today in the hospital, and I understand they moved him to a different location to be treated. We're talking about Prince Philip. So we wish him luck, and they really hadn't said what's wrong with the guy. Testing, we do hope he gets better, though. But at 99 in the hospital for 14 days usually does not mean anything good.
Yeah, it says he has an infection, so I don't know.
So good luck to him.
Yes.
We hope that does.
There's a lot going on within the royal family right now with all the Prince Harry and...
Well, you've got Oprah claiming this the greatest, biggest interview that she's ever done coming out with those 2.
Harry and Meghan. I think she's expecting again.
She is.
Yeah.
But, I don't know what to think about those 2. I normally stay away from them because it's so, I don't know.
I would think that it would have a lot to do with her not, because she was so used to not being a royal and having her freedoms to kind of doing what she wanted to do. And he was always kind of a wild child.
He was.
So he probably welcomes that. And so I think they've stripped him, though,
of
their titles. And
he can't be wearing his military uniform anywhere anymore.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He had to give it all up.
Oh, okay. I knew their titles in the royal family, but I didn't know about the military thing. But, and I don't think they get the, what do you call it?
Security?
Well, probably that and other different things that they were used to. They've probably been stripped of that, too, so...
But now they're making money off podcasts, and this Oprah thing is going to sell their products of what they're up to.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be a tell-all.
Okay.
We'll see. Another celebrity has been found dead, and this is the former NFL player Louis Nix, found dead at 29 in his car in a pond.
Goodness.
Don't know what happened, but he was shot back in December, and the car was found within like a mile or so of where he got shot back in November. Don't know if there's a connection or any way. Condolences to his family.
Yes.
That's not good. And boy, this guy just can't catch a break.
I know.
Mike Lindell is who we're talking about, My Pillow CEO.
Yes.
They cut him off during an interview because I don't know what he said. I hadn't listened to it, but apparently he went off into some form of a conspiracy theory about the vaccine.
he don't have a lot of good things to say about much
No.
of anything nowadays, but I don't blame him. I mean, but look how he's been done.
Yeah.
You
It
know.
might just be best to stay home for a little while there, Mike.
Yeah. Sell your
Self-
pillows and stay home.
Yeah, because he got real political quick.
Yeah.
And it has hurt him. 65 million at least has been dropped in sales because of it. But I guess it goes back to stand up for what you believe in. Maybe that's where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you should speak your mind to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if it's something that,
But there's a lot of people that depend on you too there, Mike, that feed their families for working for you. So
that's right.
do something. Joe, back at it. Looks like he's going to open another tent city in Texas is what it's looking like because they're getting 300 kids a day.
And, you know, this morning I heard a lot of the kids that they're getting from the other countries, you know, that are trying to come in have been, like, sexually assaulted kids.
That's not good.
And so, you know.
And these parents are sending them without being with them on the road. And you know how people, awful, awful.
And, you know, I'm trying to think as a parent, because if stuff was happening to my kids and, like, you don't know what goes on in the other countries, you know.
No, you don't.
And maybe that's why they're pushing them across the border without
Wanting a
you know,
better
just-
life for
just
them.
trying to get them out of that situation. I don't know. It's just a bad situation.
We
all
do
around.
feel for everybody. I
Yes,
don't
we
think
do.
there's a person alive that say they can't feel sorry for other countries, but also at the same time, you've got to take care of your citizens first.
Right. And like I said, or like the news has been saying lately about these kids that are coming in, you know, they kept on and on about how Trump was putting them in cages, but nothing has changed.
I know.
I mean, nothing has changed. They're still in these things behind fences and stuff. I mean, that's
And that
where
all
they're detaining them at.
started back with Obama. It wasn't something that
That's
Trump
right.
invented.
That's right. I mean,
But
all
they
that
blamed
stuff,
him for it.
of course, you know, but it's just a bad situation for the kids altogether, I think. Because, I mean, they're without their parents if they come here. Then what are you going to do with them?
Right.
You know, so, but we do need to take care of our citizens
We do.
first, I believe, too.
Lady Gaga, we got to say she's doing the right thing here. She steps up to the plate. And the dog walker who got shot that was walking her dogs when they stole them, she's going to pay for all of his medical bills, which is about right at $100,000. She's going to take care of all of that.
Well, that's good.
And as we saw over the weekend, somebody turned in the dogs, found them. Don't know the whole story of how she got them, but she was not connected to it, and she should collect $500,000 for doing that. Talk about a lottery.
Yeah.
I might have rode around if I thought they were anywhere near here looking for them. That's a lot of cash.
That is a lot.
But
Gosh.
again, that's good for her. Now we go to Alabama, and this is almost something you see. It's more common and more common. I don't know if people are cracking down on this more. We're seeing it. I do think this has gone on since time. But another teacher has been arrested. We want to point this out. Now, this says Lauderdale County in here. This is Lauderdale County, Alabama.
Okay.
Another teacher has been arrested for, sexual, however you want to, with a student. She's 27. The kid was 17. She's been married for 3 years on top of this. This is not like it was a single mom.
So this is her husband,
Down in the bottom left is her husband.
this guy?
Yeah, I guess that is the same guy. That was back when she was at Alabama. That comes from
Okay.
the Facebook pictures that they've put out there. And then that's her detention center picture in the top left there. But, they've already taken her teacher's license away from her. She'll never teach again. Her life is ruined. But, it wasn't
I don't know
like
what these people are
she
thinking.
was single is what confuses
Right.
me. She's
Even
a
if you were
newlywed.
single, why would you?
Right. But
Why would you go with a student?
But she
if
was
you're a teacher?
married on top of it and a newlywed.
Right.
She, I don't know. But this is a more common thing every single day that we see. Like we had the 57-year-old math teacher last week.
Oh, yeah. So,
Now, I got to say, this one might have been more enticing than the one last week if you were, being persuaded.
yeah. I don't know. I just think it's crazy. If you can't control yourself, you don't need to be in that profession.
Like I said, that has been going on since time, but it's
Yeah,
never
it
been
has.
brought to light like it is these days. Somebody else that's done got in trouble, and I guess I hadn't really caught up with all this with the court system, how things are done now via video chats. But a guy got a speeding ticket, and he had to show up for court. He's a doctor, He's a plastic surgeon. Look at this, what he done. This is him in the right here. He does it live from the OR room, the operating room. And the judge goes, whoa, 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 where are you? And they stopped it, and now it's a good chance that he's going to probably lose his license for doing that.
Can you imagine being the patient?
Yeah.
Finding out your doctor that was fixing to work on you or was in the middle or whatever was doing an interview, Zoom.
That ain't good.
Yeah. People, common sense.
Because if I got Dr. Pimple Popper working on me, I want her to pay 100% attention to what she's trying to cut off.
Yeah.
And, you know, he, I guess, sort of does what she does, a plastic surgeon in that area. Ooh-wee. But we have seen it all when it comes to video cameras lately over this past year.
Yeah.
Of the extra use that they're used now. It, my gosh.
Yeah.
A lot of oops.
It is. It is.
Bless your heart there.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to have to take a sip of my
You just
water.
go right ahead there. I'm going to take a minute, and we're going to talk about the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Exit 151 right off the interstate. As we talked about, spring is here, and this is where you need to start getting your flowers ready and whatever you're looking for when it comes to fertilizer, getting your bedding soil, and all that good stuff there. It's there for you as we go into spring. I'll have some more pictures next week as we dig into all this and go look at what the Farm Supply has outside for you to plant. Make your yard look a whole lot better. As always, the disinfectant, which they've been carrying since day one, they've got plenty of it. Keep your hands clean, clean surfaces around the house. You even get one of those metal garbage cans there. I don't know what you do with it, but by golly, you'd have the shiniest one on the block there with that.
That's right.
A lot of them there. And, of course, the T-shirts. They've got a big selection of clothes there. You go through the front door. They're on the left there. Carhartt jeans. Of course, we've got all the overalls, jackets if you still need one, and T-shirts and spring clothes coming in. The boots. Of course, we've got Georgia boots. They're a comfortable boot that just really stays nice and comfy on your foot all day. As we keep going through this, mud boots with all this rain, you got to have you a set there to keep dry. Heaters, it's not over yet. Always good to have a backup one there. And, of course, all your bottles and butane to keep it going. If you need security cameras, they've got that for you also to where you can have these to where you can take the SD card out. I know several people who put this at the end of their drive, and they just see who comes in their house when they're gone.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to have.
Now, you can do that either instantly to your phone or check the SD card when you get home, whichever way. Of course, all your seed that you might need to be doing some planting for the spring, and along with all your horse and cattle feed. They take care of it. Where? Lauderdale County Farm Supply, including those guns, ammunition. Exit 151, right off the interstate. I hope you'll drop in and visit with them because real good folks there that want to help you out there and get you exactly what you're looking for.
Yes.
Let's see here.
I'm sorry, I had my coughing spell over here. I sound like I'm dying.
So you should have had 3 cups and that wouldn't have happened.
You ever had it just hit you like that?
Oh,
like
yeah.
You're fine one minute and the next you like
I usually get
that tickle in your throat.
That sneezing.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Just wait. These lights we installed, just wait. It's going to grab you one morning. You're going to commence to sneezing and can't
if
stop.
I sneeze once, I'm like, it's a chain of sneezes after that.
And it's like going to the doctor's office. All it takes is one person over in the corner to yawn, and that stuff is. Have you ever noticed how contagious a yawn is?
I know.
It just trickles around the room.
Well, look, just you saying it makes me want to yawn right now, and I'm usually having a fight back yawns. Why'd you do that, Scotty Ray? I was watching a video on like Facebook the other day of somebody, and they yawned, and I yawned. I mean, just it does. You know, it just makes you. It's crazy how your brain works.
It does. You know. So what do you got to do today?
I'm off today, but I just got some stuff to do with my tax stuff. I got to get my taxes ready. I have an appointment tomorrow. We have an appointment, so
I got to do that.
Yeah,
I got to do that. Let's go back and look at radar here of what's going on this morning here. We look here across our area out to our northwest. Now I want to show you this. This is the biggest rain that's anywhere near Shreveport, Louisiana. Is to the northwest of there, due north of Ruston. That's not going to affect us as we get into Jackson. We've got light showers, and as we said, this should be getting away by 10 o'clock. We've got some showers here in lower Lauderdale County and the southern portion there. We turn on our locations to kind of look at what we've got. Showers across Newton County as we get down here right about the Clark County line there, right around Clarkdale High School, some showers. Heavier rain around the Dollar General there in Enterprise and downtown Quitman getting some showers this morning. The further south you go, and let's back out and put this into motion here and turn this off where you can kind of see better here. As we turn this on, these are moving there. going to be getting out of the area here before too long. It's lightening up back through this. It'll be a break before too long. But kind of scattered stuff this morning. As the National Weather told us earlier, it'd be 10 o'clock. There is a chance that it could go a few minutes past that by looking at that. It could still get there, but I'm predicting we could get some more showers there through about lunchtime, just looking at how slow the storm has gotten at this point.
Is it anything severe
coming
or anything? Just mainly rain?
Just mainly some light rain. And again, tonight now, the rain comes back. It's going to quit after this kind of goes out until about dark 30. And then after midnight, we'll start getting that heavier stuff again. And rain tomorrow. So it's not going to be, I'm predicting, a great hair day tomorrow.
I'll probably be just like this tomorrow, too.
So what does rain do to a lady's hairspray? What does it do to that if you got hairspray in your head and you get wet?
It just makes it gummy and sticky, and then if you let it just dry, it's like stiff as a board.
So is there a technique that you do if you get your hair wet going into work? What do you do to where you don't look like a drowned rat all day?
You just get the hair dryer and start drying it. The best thing is just have an umbrella handy, especially when you're like us and when you don't have a covered thing to park under. So, yeah, I was going this morning. I had the umbrella. So
you always got to have that jacket at least in the car.
I know, and I don't today. So I was doing good to grab the umbrella for him, went out the door. It was one of those mornings.
It was. Well, again, thank you for joining us today as we begin your Monday. It is the first day of March.
It is.
Enjoy it. So we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning to aggravate you a little bit more.
And maybe I won't have a coughing spell tomorrow.
Well, let's hope
not. Sound like I'm dying over here.
It'll go away. Of course, should the weather turn bad tonight, I'll be here for you, and we'll cover it street by street. That's all coming up with Scotty Ray's Weather. We're with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by